our parents, our distinguished board members, Principal Reynolds, our alumni, and our distinguished guests, graduates. 30 years ago, 90 students sat in the seats that you're sitting in today in this hall, just like you. Affirmed, gifted, and full of fire. They knew at that time that they were making history. They were a part of the first class of DSA, the class of 1996. The first graduates to walk out these doors and carry DSA into the world. And today, class of 2026, you are also first class. Not second class, not next, but first. In every sense of the word, you are first class citizens. DSA was built to be first. In 1992, I founded a school on a mission with a radical proposition that Detroit's young people deserved a specialized, challenging, integrated academic and arts education designed to produce graduates who would succeed in a global society. Not just survive, but lead it. Now, some people doubted us, and I remember going to board meetings year after year after year after year, and some people said, Detroit couldn't produce world-class artists. Then, our first class graduated in 1996. And the world in Detroit got quiet and paid attention. 3 decades of proof followed. Dancers, vocalists, playwrights, visual artists, multimedia producers, instrumentalists, and literary voices who refused to let their stories die unspoken, unsung, uncanvassed, unprinted, unchoreographed, and unrehearsed. They took everything that DSA gave them and they amplified it. You carry over 30 years of that legacy on your shoulders tonight. Look at what came before you. Not just DSA alumni, but a lineage of artists who refuse to be erased. And I cannot stop but talk about your lineage, your heritage, your legacy, your responsibility to the culture of America 250. You too are America. You come from giants. And tonight, as you take the first dual diploma in the arts, I want you to recognize and pay homage to those who paved the way for you. Now, I'm going way back in history. And I'm going to tell you about who you are and whose you are and why you are here today. So let's start with Phyllis Wheatley, who picked up her pen in 1773. She didn't learn to write poetry. She broke barriers, even during slavery, by seizing freedom with every word. Imagine, if you will, a young enslaved girl teaching herself to write by moonlight, transforming her pain into power, her yearning into verse. With each stroke of her quill, she didn't just write poems, she wrote possibility into existence. Langston Hughes turned Harlem street corners into literature. Toni Morrison excavated and buried those truths and brought them into life, and she won the Nobel Peace Prize. Nikki Giovanni told us that our normal days are worthy of poetry, that our kitchen table conversations are literature, and that our street corner wisdom is philosophy. She told us that we can fly like a bird in the sky. They were all first class, and so are you. Literary arts, vessels of strength, power, and honor. Every time you pick up your pen, every time you open a book, every time you share your stories, you are not just reading or writing, you are continuing a sacred tradition, a sacred legacy. Now let's look at the visual arts. Jacob Lawrence painted the Great Migration. 60 panels, 60 chapters of our journey north, 60 pieces of American Odyssey. Panel by panel, he painted the story of 6 million dreams in flight. Not just from something, but toward something. Toward freedom, toward opportunity, toward home. Henry O. Tanner just didn't paint. He transformed canvas into testimony. In his the banjo lesson, he didn't just capture a moment, he captured our dignity. An elder teaching a child the gentle curve of their bodies, the warm light embracing them. This wasn't just art, this was resilience with a paintbrush. They were first class, and so were you. Visual artists, designers. Today, as we walk through galleries and museums, as we see our art and your art displayed on those once forbidden walls, we're not just looking at art. We're looking at victory. We're looking at art as resistance, recognition, representation, and every frame holds not just a picture, but a piece of a compelling journey. Every exhibition is not just a display, but a declaration. We are here. We are here to stay. And through our art, we will always be here. And to the musicians, Duke Ellington, he turned music into majesty. He just didn't lead a band, he conducted a revolution in sound. When he premiered Black, Brown, and Beige at Carnegie Hall in 1943, he wasn't just representing a concert, he was representing Black history, Black struggles, Black triumphs, wrapped in sophisticated harmonies that demanded respect. And Nina Simone made every piano key a demand for justice. Louis Armstrong walked through the front door when they told him to use the back door. And when Beyonce takes the stage and weaves Negro spirituals into pop hits and country best-selling albums, she celebrates historically Black colleges and universities, and she's just not performing, she's preserving. She's not just entertaining, she's educating. Every dance move is a tribute. Every song is a celebration of where you've been and where you are going. Their music just didn't reflect the movement. It is the movement. It didn't just take a soundtrack change, it created change, and so can you. They were first class, and so are you. And in dance, Alvin Ailey, he took bloody memories and turned them into symphonies. Catherine Dunham reclaimed the African root in every step that she choreographed. When she leaped onto the stage, she just didn't dance. She researched, she reclaimed, and she rejoiced. She traveled to Haiti, to Cuba, to Brazil, bringing back movements that connected us to our Black roots. Every dance step was a history lesson. Every choreographed piece a bridge back to Africa. And Missy Copeland bent the rules by bending beautifully. They were first class, and so are you. When you dance, you're not just performing, but transforming, demonstrating that your bodies can tell stories as powerful as the written word. Ira Aldridge, for our actors, commanded Shakespeare on a London stage in 1825 while his people were still in chains. August Wilson wrote 10 plays, one for every decade of the 20th century, and made America stop and listen. Sidney Poitier walked across screens and opened doors. Spike Lee picked up a camera and directed our attention. They were first class, and so are you. Theater artists and multimedia producers, when you step on a stage, you're not just acting, you are activating, performing. You are performing possibility for the next class of DSA. So now it is your turn. Maya Angelou told us there's no greater agony than burying an untold story inside you. You have spent 4 years learning how to tell your story through your instrument, through your voice, through your body, through your lens, through your paintbrush, through your pen, through your magnificent set designs, through your prolific podcasts and media compositions. But let me tell you, the world will test you. It will tell you to play smaller, to compromise your art, to be practical, but every giant that I just named was told the same thing. And every one of them answered back. And they answered back with a trumpet, a canvas, a leap, a word, a frame, a voice, and a body movement. You're not going out into this world to find your place. You're going out in this world to claim it. You are first class forever. When the class of 1996 walked through DSA for the first time, they didn't know that you would be here over 30 years later. But DSA was built for you. Everything that was planted in 1992, every rehearsal, every critique, every breakthrough, every late night, every standing ovation was planted for this moment. It was created for you. So go, create, inspire, innovate, tell your story, and tell it loudly, beautifully, and without apology. Because you are young, gifted, and DSA. You will always be first class. And remember, dreams do come true. Mine continue to come true because of you. Congratulations, class of 2020.